Chapter 3 The Witch's Finger. Staring at the bitters mixing within the bourbon, I noticed a quote on the paper napkin. It said, "The fool man seeks happiness in the distance. The wise grows it under his feet." James Oppenheim. Life is just weirder than shit. Why can't she be direct? Santa Barbara's a fucking dysfunctional family. The hottest girl in town gets locked up in a tower. A jealous father cuts off her head. Then Yahweh pulls a Zeus move and kills her father with lightning bolts. Really? How does this make sense to anyone? A billion-dollar tourist town where cruise ships come to dump their stinky shit on our blue whales, dolphins, and sea lions. And you still want to order the local lobster at Brophy's. Yet, the Santa Barbara Council can't even build a statue of Santa Barbara with her head on it. Instead, a 6-by-6-foot brass compass lies on top of her grave, pointing nowhere. Encircled are the names of the 7 sister cities, burying into the ground the Chumash Indians' sacred knowledge of their land and the drought cycles. Evidently, a swordfish isn't a trophy or on the menu. How do we spell hypocrisy? Where are the Chumash Indians now? As the train arrived at Santa Barbara, I said to the blind seer, "I don't think I have time to visit the Painted Cave. I need to get to San Francisco. My life is on the line." The railroad engineer interrupts the mamas and the papas over the speakers and says, "I'm sorry to announce the 3:15 Amtrak Express service to San Francisco will be delayed by approximately 2 hours. Due to an accident in San Jose, a car broke down on the railways. No injuries have been reported. Please listen to further announcements on our website or text a tip, the World Help, to APD 11 for the latest activities and emergencies. We apologize for the inconvenience. Please help yourself to a complimentary snack at the bar and enjoy the American Riviera." Okay, this is definitely a sign from the universe. "Well, I guess you now have time to visit the Painted Cave," whispered the blind seer within my mind. As I stepped off the train and took a deep breath of the salty Santa Barbara air, I sent for an Uber premium ride. If I need to move around this town, I better roll with some style. 5 minutes later, a silver Tesla pulls up and I jump in. "Off to see the Painted Caves, are we?" A newscaster voice gleefully voiced in the air. "Yes, please get me there in one piece. I have to make it back in a couple of hours," I replied. As a silent toy car zipped across downtown Santa Barbara, I remembered the sound of the driver's voice and asked, "Hey, you sound and look familiar. Are you the primetime dude on Channel 3? A loud chuckle resonated throughout the car, and he said, "Mr. Tom Lovato himself. Where do you think I get the latest millennial techie news from? I'm on the road most of my day anyway, so why not make some extra cash and cash in on the latest digital scoop? Keeps my Twitter hot." We both laughed and I asked him, "Turn up the radio," as the sound of silence played on. Realizing that we are at the verge of the fall equinox, I had a flashback to when the blind seer would perform a sacred water ritual at the Painted Cave every winter and summer solstice and fall and spring equinox. She would carefully gather water from a local Chumash river in a sacred shaman's clay bowl handed down from one matriarch to another. In a mystical ritual, the blind seer would offer the water of life to the painted cave of our ancestors. It was a holy ritual of life as she sung ancient songs to her ancestors. At that time, it made no sense to me. I was just a little trickster having fun with the gods. California has been in a severe drought for over a decade, and water has become the new cocaine of health. Shortly after we arrived, Mr. Primetime asked if he needed to stay. I said, "You probably have a breaking news story to catch. I've already scheduled an Uber in an hour." He gave me his signature smile as he zoomed away like a silver lining. I took a moment to pause, letting the scenic view in, and recentered myself. Upon entering the painted cave site, I heard a chilling rattle. It sounded like a red diamond. Cautiously, I walked inside and reconnected with the blind seer. Did she leave something here for me to find? She trusts me, and I trust her. "I've made it. I'm here at the painted cave. What am I supposed to do?" I whispered. "Be careful of the rattlers," she said. How did she know? Yes, I know," I replied. I heard her take a deep breath, and in a motherly tone she said, "Look for the Chumash sun symbol on the northeast quadrant of the cave. You will find it above your head. When you do, kneel before the wall and draw that same sun symbol on the ground with your hands. You will discover something that will help you on this quest." Fuck, really? I don't have time for a ritual ceremony. "Seriously?" I replied. Then, in a tone that I've never heard her use before, she emphatically said, "If you want to live through all of this, you must listen. Our concept of time, like a sand clock, is fading away. CERN has cracked the hourglass of our reality. Please, precious one, trust me." There was an eerie chill that slowly crawled up my spine, as if 1,000 baby spiders were crawling up my back. Her words anchored into my soul and echoed the severity of my situation. "Oh my God, is it happening? Is it true?" My voice quivered as I replied to her. Falling to my knees, I broke down. Niagara falls of tears flowing down my weathered face. "You don't have too much time left. You have a train to catch," she calmly whispered as her voice soothed my sobbing tears. "Now go, do as I have said, for all of us. Let me know when you're back on the train. I must go now." Sitting in seiza, a formal Japanese kneeling posture, looking up at the Chumash sun as my fingers touched the ground beneath me, I drew the Chumash sun on the earth as if I were playing a grand piano. As my fingers completed its syncopated rhythmic Chumash sun dance image on the ground, I found a crystal pendant. The mystical witch's finger. It allows the bearer to know the way into, the way through, and the way out of any labyrinth by becoming the whole maze. That is who the blind seer is, an enigmatic love maze.